Bob?
So, John, I have a narrow question for the general and a broader question for you, if I could start with him, if you don't mind. Is that all
Oh,
right?
sure, absolutely. I'll just leave. That's fine.
General, I think you said that you would ramp up to one aircraft departure per hour.
That's the planning figure.
And when would that, my question is, when will you get there?
We hope within the next 24 hours. And so as the commander on the ground continues to build the combat power there and flights are available, that is the goal.
Okay. If I may ask a question of you, John?
Sir.
The general mentioned that there have been no hostile threats from the Taliban at the airport. I'm wondering, does the U.S. have an arrangement with the Taliban to allow the evacuation airlifts to proceed until August 31st? And the second question is, under what circumstance would the U.S. troops leave before August 31st?
So on your first question, Bob, what I would tell you is coming out of General McKenzie's discussions with senior Taliban leaders in Doha, our commanders at the airport are in communication with Taliban commanders on the ground outside the airport. There have been discussions. There is communication between them and us. And I would just let the results speak for themselves. I'm not going to get into the details of how those discussions are progressing because there are interactions multiple times a day. And as the general said, I think very well, there's been no hostile interactions from the Taliban to our operations at the airport.
So the point of that would be to allow that the Taliban is willing to allow it to proceed, and they're cooperating in that regard.
I would just let the results speak for themselves so far, and we're not taking anything for granted.
And the prior to August 31st part of my
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Right now, as the general made clear, the mission runs through August 31st. The commander-in-chief made it very clear that we were going to complete this drawdown by August 31st, and which now includes the drawdown of American citizens, the pulling out of American citizens and drawdown of our embassy personnel. So that's what we're focused on. That's the timeline we're on. And as the secretary made clear to leaders, even as recently as this morning, time is of the essence, and we all share a sense of urgency here. But right now, the mission runs to 31st of August, and I won't begin to speculate what happens after that.